Hi, again, I'm Rachel Friedman. I'm the Deputy Director at Men Can Stop Rape. So Men Can Stop Rape was founded in 1997, and our mission is to mobilize men to use their strength for creating cultures free from violence, especially men's violence against women and girls. We have three primary ways that we accomplish that. We do that through youth development. We do that through public awareness raising and media messaging campaigns, and we do that through training and technical assistance. So our kind of the heart of the organization, the work that really grounds us, is our work with young people. We have the Men of Strength Club, which was established in 2000, and we refer to that as the MOST Club. That club is present in all middle schools and high schools throughout the District of Columbia. And we also have historically had over 120 locations throughout 17 states in the United States, and we've also done some programming internationally as well. And the kind of framework of the MOST Club is really rooted in what we call dominant stories and counter stories of masculinity. So the dominant stories being a lot of those negative messages that boys and young men are receiving about not only what it means to be a man, but also what it means to be a man in relationship with women. And so many of the horrible things that happen to women and girls are of course really connected to that harmful masculinity and the messaging that boys and young men are learning about who they're supposed to be. And while we believe that, and we know that most violence is committed by men, most men are not violent. And so what's really important about our work with boys and young men is equipping them with the skills and the tools and the language that's necessary to intervene, to stand up, to be leaders amongst their peers and in their communities, so that what can be the driving force in our country and in our communities is a healthy masculinity that recognizes that violence against women and girls is unacceptable, and that boys and young men are equipped with the skills that they need to navigate that world. And so the dominant stories are what we're trying to kind of unpack and dismantle, and then what we're replacing those dominant stories with is what we call our counter stories. And those are messages about who boys and young men authentically want to be. And they, certainly can include things that you might think of as being part of a dominant story. They might still want to be really good at athletics. They still might want to really make a lot of money. They still might want to have sex with a lot of women. But there's a way to do all of those things in a healthy, equitable way. There's a way to incorporate your full self into your identity. And so you can want to make a lot of money and still value love and nurturing and taking care of people in your life. And so that's really the framework of our work with young people, is that dominant stories and the counter stories. And one of the things that we do, it's a weekly program, and it meets throughout the year. It's a weekly program. There's 22 sessions. And in addition to that, the young people create what we call community strength projects. So those are opportunities for them to create projects in the community, and that can be anything from, we've had young men do toy drives and food drives from women's shelters. We've had them go and clean up women's shelters. They've hosted film festivals. And in 2010, at Banneker High School, our MOST Club, in partnership with their female peers, established our program for girls and young women, which is Women Inspiring Strength and Empowerment. And so, what we want for girls and what we want for young women is to know that they are shapers of society as well, that they have a role to play as well in being leaders in their communities and in being leaders about what it is that they expect from boys and young men in their lives, and also what they expect for themselves. And we think that it's critically important that as we're educating boys and young men, we're also preparing girls and young women to be empowered and to be prepared for a world that's not fraught with violence against them. And so those programs meet separately, but they also come together to do projects together and to learn from each other and to build on, developing equitable, platonic, healthy relationships with each other, which is something that a lot of young people don't have. Our media messaging and our public education work has included media messaging campaigns that we've done all over the country as well as internationally, and we really focus on consent and bystander intervention and healthy masculinity. We also, in 2013, launched the ASK technology platform, which stands for Assault Services Knowledge, and that is available in DC. Ask DC is available in 8 languages. All the apps are free. If you take your phone out right now and download it, I won't be offended. I'll be like, thank you for ignoring me and downloading the app. Seriously. UAsk DC is geared toward the district residents, and so we have 8 district-based universities, including UDC, in the District of Columbia, and so the UAsk app covers all 8 of those universities. And we've also rolled out 3 statewide versions in Arizona, Connecticut, and North Dakota, and we have a version at Duke University, and in the coming year we will be rolling out a UAsk DMV version that will cover parts of Maryland and Virginia as well, in addition to DC. We also have our training and technical assistance that includes trainings that we do all over the country, really for anyone who wants to work on engaging men and boys in gender-based violence prevention. So that's included, we've done work with the military, we've worked with faith communities, we've worked with other school systems, really any group that wants to do youth serving work or engaging men and boys work, we work with them. We also have several grants with the federal government to provide technical assistance to other organizations that do gender-based violence work with boys and young men. And then 2 years ago, we rolled out a partnership with the DC Rape Crisis Center, which is one of the very first rape crisis centers in the country, and I believe that they're celebrating their 45th anniversary this year. 2 years ago, we started partnering with them to reinvigorate and reposition a sexual assault coalition for the District of Columbia. So that project is called the DC Coalition to End Sexual Violence and Men Can Stop Rape, leads that in partnership with DC Rape Crisis Center, and I think that every state coalition is unique and does really important work to meet the needs of any community. I think what's really special and unique about the partnership that we have in DC is that it is between a rape crisis center and an organization that is focused on engaging men and boys. And we have wonderful partners on that, including Network for Victim Recovery of DC, and we get to do lots of work with Elizabeth Olds through her initiatives as well. So that is a lot, and I'll stop. I do have some handouts, and of course I'm happy to speak with any of you and answer any questions. And want to thank you all for being here and supporting this great project. I think that stories are really important, and they really ground and drive people's commitment. You know, statistics, the facts, they matter, of course, but I think that what really motivates people are those stories, and so this is a great opportunity to start lifting up stories in a new way, and I think particularly for working with boys and young men, the stories can be really critical drivers for them to understand that, you know, it's not just this or that the things that you're doing or that you're sanctioning can have really long-term and harmful impacts on people, and that's real, and that's not something that's just pretend, and that's not something that you're just seeing online. People are really being harmed and hurt by this violence. So thank you.